plans won't work.
Wrap it up.
Good luck with that.
Make a move, Big Blue.
What's going on, YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave, Keyshawn Adams' YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another movie review, Superman 2025. This is the big one, of course. The start of the new DCU with James Gunn at the forefront. We got Creature Commandos earlier, which as far as the animated show that I actually enjoyed, and I even said that I want to see this in live action as far as these characters from Creature Commandos. But when it comes to Superman, this is the one. Everybody feel like nobody can get Superman right. I mean, Superman is basically like shark movies, because Jaws, nobody feel like anybody can get a shark movie right since Jaws, just like nobody can feel like anybody can get a Superman movie right since the Christopher Reeves movies. Personal opinion, Man of Steel is a very good movie to me. Smallville was my favorite show. I religiously watched Smallville, pertaining to just going through all of those different stages of Clark Kent's life and watching his upbringing to become Superman, which I feel like Smallville is one of them shows. I ain't gonna say it's slept on, because I feel like it's very much nostalgic, getting one of our best Lex Luthors till this day. Maybe now it's debatable being with Nicholas Holt's performance as Lex Luthor. But of course, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, which I really still enjoy. I think that's a very good movie. I think that's a good telling story of Clark Kent outside of certain decisions made with his parents, like the whole thing with Jonathan saying, "No, save me." I'm still like, nah, nigga, super speed, they ain't gonna see you, it's a storm. But why? Anyway, Superman 2025, directed by James Gunn. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I really enjoyed this. This definitely gave me the nostalgia feeling of the Superman animated show, which I feel like at that time, because of just where we was at in a different time, it was like 90s going into early 2000s or whatever, that show, they took it there sometimes with certain episodes, you know what I'm saying, even with the Batman animated series. But this gave me that all around feeling of watching the Superman show as far as the animated one, even with Nicholas Holt's performing as Lex Luthor. Wasn't Lex Luthor black on the animated show? Y'all can let me know if you're wrong, but I swear he was black. Even some of his characteristics, he came off as black. Like, he didn't give a fuck how powerful Superman was. He's like, I got money, I'm smart, and that's the performance we get from this Lex Luthor in this. We don't get a nigga eating Jolly Ranchers and shit and doing all that dumb, never mind. Anyway, Nicholas Holt brings a performance where you got Lex Luthor being extra smart. The way he pretty much telling Superman, like, nigga, brains over bronze. Like, I know you think you big, strong, you got all these superpowers, but I'm way more smarter than you. And we even get to see him and his ability as far as the technology he's putting together. Even him using this whole thing with a pocket dimension and having the discovery of that. It's showing just how smart and just how calculated Lex Luthor is. And I really, really love that performance, because I remember seeing that in episodes, like I said, Smallville. Shout out to my boy Michael Rosenbaum. A very great performance, and just showing just the way he's so calculated, and getting the way they even go into this movie, letting you know that he's been studying Superman for years now. Speaking of the whole thing with getting thrown into this ain't no origin story. You getting thrown into this as far as metahumans already being here, as far as the Green Lanterns, Mr. Terrific, one of my favorite characters. I want to get a TV show on him, movie or something. Great performance with my guy playing him. I feel like as far as just black characters and comic book characters, I don't know anything about Mr. Terrific, but I want to know a whole lot more now. And the fact that he's a super smart black guy and the technology he's using, if I'm not mistaken, he don't have like any superpowers. It's the fact that he's super damn smart, and what he's able to do with the technology he's able to put together. And he is a very instrumental part in this movie, even what he's able to do to help Superman. But outside of that, Guy Guardian was funny as hell to me. I liked this character, the shit he pulled, what he was doing, and even the way he was talking to Superman as far as being a Green Lantern, and knowing that they got the Green Lantern show coming up. He was funny to me. Not all the jokes landed, of course, James Gunn and what he does with his type of comedy or whatever. Overall, though, side characters, Jimmy Olsen, I don't know what this whole thing was with the women. Like, was Jimmy Olsen always somebody who had the women on him like that? I don't remember it. I mean, once again, I'm not the comic book lore guy. I'm going off of TV shows, movies, and stuff like that. I don't read a couple comic books for Superman, but I'm not deep in it like that, so I wouldn't know. That's why I'm trying to be like, was Jimmy like Playboy like that? But other things that I really enjoyed with this was side characters as far as villains. Engineer was a very interesting character. I like the fact that it seemed like she had somewhat of a dilemma with her, whether she wanted to do this or she was just having to do this because of Lex and what he had done for her, or just the capabilities that he has. And Ultraman, very good, I would say decent reveal at the end as far as who he is under the mask or whatever, and just what Lex has been up to with him. And once again, just showing the whole thing with Lex and his brain and the way it works as far as just how smart he is and what he's able to do. But like I said, Hawk Girl, I enjoyed her, I guess so, but I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I kind of like Hawk Girl and Black Adam a little bit better than this. But maybe she'll grow on me. I don't know if she's gonna be around for other movies, which I would think she is. I am interested though what's up with Hawk Guy though. Like what's up with that whole dynamic? Is he? I'm guessing he's around. Another thing I thought that was very interesting in is that James Gunn has already talked about this as far as letting you know that we're not getting origin stories. We're going to be thrown into metahumans have already been around for some time now. They've been around for a long time, even before Superman actually arrives on Earth, and we get that introduction right at the beginning of the movie. I do want to get into Superman now, and just showing the fact that James Gunn immediately lets us know that this is a very vulnerable Superman who's he powerful, but he's getting his ass whooped majority of this movie. He getting his ass whooped. And even the introduction let you know that, like, this is his first time kind of facing some type of defeat or whatever. But yeah, our introduction to him is showing him getting his ass whooped, but it's also, like, majority of this movie is him battling the world as far as them trying to put him in a certain position as far as just being nice and kind. And I mean, it's a lot of subliminals as far as what we dealing with in the world today. I mean, you can even say Lex is on some Trump shit. I mean, I'm just saying, but it does play on a lot of dynamics with even the things with other countries, and even James Gunn saying that Superman is an immigrant in this movie. I mean, but his whole thing is, as far as Superman is, like, I just want to save people. I just want people to live. I don't want people to die. And it's a very good dynamic and back and forth with him and Lois Lane. Speaking of Lois Lane, their chemistry is very much good on this movie. I like the back and forth, and I like even certain things with their relationship where Lois is like, yo, I didn't even know if I wanted to go all the way through with this because of who you are. But real life dynamics and showing the human nature of Superman, which I think is a good thing because it makes people relatable to him as far as the audience that's watching him. And I think that's been a lot of the issues with the other past movies, not the TV show. That's one of the things I really liked about Smallville, because it made Superman very relatable, especially him showing his teenage years, him becoming a young adult and even becoming a full-on adult as far as Smallville. But Crypto, just if you ever had a dog, this is Crypto, but think about a dog with superpowers. Basically, messy ass dog, but a very loving dog that's very protective too at the same time. But I really like the dynamics with Crypto and Superman, and it's a very interesting thing that happens at the end, which I'm pretty sure people don't probably find out now. But I'm trying to do a spoiler-free review right now. But yes, cameos outside of the ones that we already know are here, as far as Mrs. Terrific, Guy Guardian, and the Green Lantern thing, and even Hawk Girl. It is a couple cameos in here. One very good one, and particular one at the end, but it's another funny one too in the middle of this, which leading into other things that's going to be coming up. Not heavy-handed, but just showing you like what we got and the characters that we already kind of been introduced to, and characters we haven't been introduced to yet, but we get introduced to in this movie. But the future of the DCU, especially starting off with this Superman movie. But overall, another reason this made me feel like we were watching an animated show is just kind of that build up when feel like Superman is always, like I said, is very vulnerable Superman, but once we get to the end and we start to see him after things he's had to deal with too, with trying to look in a mirror and just facing certain dilemmas with what the world thinks and how he feels about himself too, and what he feel like he should do, which I feel like was a very important part of the movie, and it's things that we can relate to as humans. Like, damn, you see what people are saying, you see how people feel about certain things, but how do you feel about you facing a certain situation? How you feel like you're willing to deal with it, even outside of the world telling you how you should deal with it, especially somebody in Superman's position, aka Clark Kent. Speaking of Clark Kent, we don't get shit with Clark Kent. We get one scene with Clark Kent, and that's pretty much it. And I don't know if there's going to be an issue with people, but like I said, as far as getting that other side of him, as far as being a reporter, I think we do need a little bit more with that too. We do. And maybe the movie could have added it on, because the movie didn't feel too long for me at all. It was going. Well, outside of that, Lex Luthor, like I said, villain-wise, and even Ultraman, I like those villains. The engineer, and I've heard the engineer is supposed to be a part of something else as far as some group called the Authority, and I heard James Gunn's supposed to be working on it. So I wonder if we're going to get more with her. But as far as the whole thing with Ultraman, I'm interested in it because of that reveal and where they might go with that, because I'm going back to Smallville and how they had certain things with a character in that. I don't want to get, like I said, y'all probably know what I'm talking about, because of course there's spoilers out there already. But I wonder if we can see that come back, because it's a thing that's happening with these whole pocket dimensions and this black hole, and I was like, are we going to get something with the Phantom Zone? That's what I'm thinking about. And if you know what I mean when I say the Phantom Zone, it's the whole thing with, I don't want to say the character's name, but I wonder if we're going to get that character maybe possibly down the road. What's the other show, man? It was another TV show that I had recently got into as far as Superman show. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That was I think the last one, but that was a good one too. And I got onto it late, but that was a good one too. I know it's not Clark and Lois. It might be Lois and Clark. But outside of that, I really enjoyed this. I didn't know I was going to enjoy it as much as I did, and it surprised me a lot, because I was always hearing about how cartoonish it was supposed to be, and I think that might have been even some of the things I actually like about it, because I really enjoyed the animated show. But it has emotional moments too. The dynamics between Clark and his parents, especially the conversation between him and Pa Kent, is a very good moment. The music in the background in that moment. No jokes, no nothing. Them just having a serious conversation about how Clark feels and how Pa Kent tells him how you should feel. Because it's a thing in here that happens. It's something in here that happens that might change certain things. Is that even part of the comics? But it's something with Clark's actual parents from Krypton. And it's like something that happens in here where they kind of flip that story. And I'm like, whoa. Because it's like, it's a moment where you like, oh, they did something to alter something. And then it's like, nah, they ain't alter shit. It is like, wait a minute. So are we going to change that whole narrative up? I don't know. I didn't have no issue with it. But like I said, I'm not so deep into the comic book lore where I feel like other fans might have an issue with what they did with the whole thing with Clark's parents. It's going to be a very interesting conversation. But outside of that, like I said, the guy playing Superman, David, he did a very good job, man. Like I said, just the whole thing with him and showing the human side of him, but making him very relatable. But outside of that, just him being that guy as far as saying, this is if I want to be saved somebody, I don't mind being saved by him. Now, here in Cavell, it's like, damn, he going to save me, but is he going to hurt me when he save me because he going to be so pissed off? But not this Superman. This Superman is happy. He has his moments where he get pissed, but he is overall just a guy that wants to do the right thing. He wants to do good things. And even with that, I think people might have an issue with the movie because it's like very, I would say, got a lot of kindness in it. Especially leading towards the end as far as just the way Superman wants to treat certain things in a different pattern where I think us as regular human beings would be like, man, if I had those powers, I'm going to just kill his ass. He getting on my nerve. I'm going to just kill him. I'm tired of him. What y'all going to do about it? But it's that certain thing with his morals, too. That's the thing. And I think this movie points a lot of those things out as far as just that compass moral. And even if you had all these powers, what would you do with them? Would you be a good person? Or would you make other decisions? And they have those moments with other side characters in here saying, like, they got like, nigga, I ain't Superman. I will kill your ass. As far as other metahumans here, I ain't playing that shit. Another character I did want to talk about a little bit was Metamorpho. I liked him too. I like what he was able to do, and he's not a lot in the movie a lot, but when he does show up, it's very crucial moments. And I like the performance that character, what the actor had with that character, but I liked his powers because I'm not familiar with Metamorpho. So the way he uses his powers and what he does with his powers, there's funny moments too, but it's interesting moments too where I'm like, okay, what else can this guy do? But that's, I think, another thing that I don't know how people gonna feel about just being thrown into here with characters. You like, okay, how this character like this, or where did this character come from? And even Lex's motivation behind why he hates Superman so much. Because when we thrown into this, we like, this nigga really hates Superman. Like, he can't stand his guts. But then we do kind of get an explanation towards the end with Lex even coming out saying why he hates Superman. The build up for that, I mean, we done been around a long time. I feel like fans of superhero movies and even Superman movies, you know why Lex don't like this nigga. But anyway, man, I enjoyed the film overall. I can't wait to see what we get next. I know we got Supergirl again next. Hint, hint. So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to Supergirl World of Tomorrow because I heard that's supposed to be a very interesting story and something the polar opposite of who Superman is as far as Supergirl and her being a younger version of him, but her going through different things that he didn't have to go through. So I think that's going to be an interesting story. Outside of that, man, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this new Superman 2025 directed by James Gunn and the future of the DCU, the new DCU. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell, let you know when I upload new videos. Other than that, we out.